Hello everyone, Alpha Eagle here again. Welcome back to my channel. I hope you're all doing well and may God bless you all. In my last video, Eduardo is a Milkshake Brain Part 1, I brought up the Fandom Initiative. Now these are a bunch of AIDS commies who for some reason love woke movies and they attack anyone who disagrees with them. They say people who simply disagree with them as dangerous. These guys are the white savior types who want to save racial minorities, women, and gays because I guess they think racial minorities, women, and gays can't defend themselves. Meanwhile, they also attack racial minorities like Eric July, they attack women like Vera Dark, and they attack bisexual doggos like Rags. Because I guess four white guys knows what's best for racial minorities, women, and gays. And they call themselves ambassadors and not gatekeepers. However, they want to deplatform anyone who disagrees with them and they don't believe in coexistence or tolerance. Today, we will be going over a video titled, If Ariel is Black, Can Black Panther Be White? It's by a guy who seems to be their leader and he calls himself Actual Fandom, and by another guy who is their cheerleader who calls himself Little Movie Perp. As always, I have nothing against these guys. In fact, I pray that they will change their ways, and I will put a link to their video in the description. I edited their video and I sped it up. 90% of their video was just attacking the quartering rather than actually arguing their point. So I cut it out. Anyway, let's finally get to the video.
We have to ask the question, is Black Little Mermaid equivalent to White Black Panther? Okay.
The answer is yes. If you believe in equality, treating things the same, being consistent in your views, not being hypocrites, then you have to treat all characters the same. If whitewashing is bad, then blackwashing must also be bad. If race swapping is good for one character, then it has to be good for all characters. It's that simple.
Okay, oh my god. I am sorry to have cursed your freaking eyeballs and your monitors with this image. I didn't realize that this was... God damn it, dude. So this is clearly disgusting and clearly done to get a rise out of people because say something really offensive.
It's a funny meme, guys. How can they be triggered by this innocuous meme? They say that the best jokes have some truth to them. And the fact is that the left are hypocrites about race in entertainment. They have no problem with changing the race of white characters or even real-life people in things like Hamilton or Anne Boleyn, but they lose their minds, what little minds they have, if non-white characters or people are changed, and that makes them hypocrites.
So here's this image. It's one of a couple that go around a lot. You guys have probably seen the other one. But yeah, so she's played by African-American actress. That seems to, obviously, have just triggered this round of discourse again that comes around, several times a year at least. So here's the Ryan Gosling, and quartering, bruh, keep molding. My Black Panther is representative of the world we live in for a global audience. So they think one character is the same as the other. One character means the same thing as the other. But they clearly don't. There is integral parts to the character, right, that you have to ignore in order to make Black Panther white, right? Now, what makes Black Panther Black Panther? Let's talk about Wakanda. Wakanda is an African country. Right? Now, there's white people, so they'll say, oh, there's white people, what about South Africans? There's white people, okay, Dane, what's the hook of Wakanda? It wasn't touched.
Before we go any further, the simple way you can make a white Black Panther is through the multiverse that's currently going on in the MCU. Shout out to one of my viewers, Crash the Fash, who pointed this out. He said, left-wingers, race isn't part of the story, therefore race doesn't matter to the characters. So left-wingers. Black Panther is black because it's part of his character and ethnic background, even though the Marvel Multiverse literally affirms the fact that there are other versions of Black Panther that are possibly, most likely, and definitely white, or other races, ethnicities, species, but he's still black in every one of them because he has to be black and has to stay black because of blackness, black favoritism, Pan-Africanism, Afrofuturism, black supremacy, and generational racism. And they also mentioned this in Spider-Man No Way Home. Electro said, there must be a black Spider-Man out there. Well, if that's true, then out of the infinite number of universes out there, there must also be a white Black Panther, right? Actual Fandom is a fan of the multiverse, so there has to be a white Black Panther, correct? I've just proven him wrong, but we'll continue anyways.
Hero story at its core is a power fantasy. With Black Panther, the thing is, it's all based around Wakanda, because it's not just Black Panther and his power fantasy. The power fantasy is, what if there was a country in Africa that was not colonized by fucking white people, basically?
And there it is. Dane is proving his anti-white racism by effing white people.
White people.
Fucking white people.
Where have we heard this hatred for white people before? That's right, from Nerdette.
White fucking man. White fucking man.
White fucking man.
Imagine if Dane had said this exact same thing about any other race.
Fuck
Black
people. Fuck
Mexican,
people. Fuck
Jewish,
people. Fuck
Muslim.
people.
What reaction do you think his comment would get? He'd probably be kicked off of all of social media. But it's okay to say F white people for some reason. It's me to see this hatred of white people coming from other white people. No other race hates their own race as much as white leftists hate white people. In my opinion, it's one of the biggest problems in the Western world, and it's leading to our own self-destruction. But that's another topic for another video. Let's continue.
Basically, the course of African history was completely altered by white people, and that includes, obviously, the slave trade.
Yes, the slave trade, which black people willingly and actively participated in. They enslaved their own people and sold their own people as slaves. Black people are at least partially to blame for the slave trade, Dane. You can't put all the blame on white people. You're being factually incorrect, Dane.
What if there was one country that had a special resource and had special, basically because of that resource, they were allowed to stay hidden and protect themselves from colonialism, imperialism. And then what would that look like, all these centuries later? And that's Wakanda. That is the power fantasy of an entire nation of African people, right? Like that.
A civilization like Wakanda might exist if black people didn't sell their own people into slavery. I guess it's possible, but not very likely.
And so the idea of T'Challa being white conflicts with the whole concept. Don't let anybody equate these two things. T'Challa cannot be white because of that very reason. His skin color is integral to the character. That is Black Panther. That is Wakanda. You need a Wakanda. You need a Wakanda that is hidden for the rest of the world, that wasn't touched by, that's what makes it special.
So these guys are basically saying that the most integral part of Black Panther is that Wakanda was never colonized. Well, guess what? Africa is not the only continent that was colonized. For example, the Moors, Africans, conquered parts of Europe. So in this case, it would be a white Black Panther and a white Wakanda that kept itself hidden from black conquerors. But that would make the black people the evil colonizers, and Hollywood would hate that. Another example would be the Ottoman Empire. They conquered parts of Europe. So again, Black Panther would be white, and the evil colonizers would be Muslim people. But again, Hollywood wouldn't touch that with a 10-foot pole. In Dane and Perp's own logic, I gave 2 examples of how Black Panther could be white. And that's 2 examples on top of the multiverse example I gave already. So, that's 3 examples of a white Black Panther that can be done using Dane and Perp's own standards. Heck, I'll give a 4th example of a white Black Panther. We can do a version of Tarzan. A white family is flying over Wakanda in their private plane, and when suddenly it crashes, and the only survivor is a baby, and he is adopted by T'Chaka and raised to be king. Boom! 4 examples of how Black Panther could be white using Dane and Perp's own standards. And I have a million others. So even though I have proven Dane and Perp wrong 4 times over, let's continue anyways.
There's nothing in The Little Mermaid that says Ariel has to be played by a white woman. Like nothing. Nothing. There's nothing intrinsic to the character whatsoever. So this whole Black Panther comparison is bullcrap.
I think you mean that there is nothing that says that Ariel is white, except the book. The book clearly describes Ariel as white.
And watch this stuff and tell me that these kids don't deserve a movie, or even a few movies, where rather than the, vast majority of historical examples of like princesses and heroines in Disney films and stuff are white. If you tell me that they don't deserve to have this as much as any white girl, where they literally see themselves, and that this doesn't affect how they feel about themselves, if you think this doesn't affect how they, perceive society and their value in society, you're fucking stupid.
You might have a point if minority girls didn't already have several Disney princesses to choose from. Jasmine, Mulan, Pocahontas, Moana, Lilo from Lilo and Stitch, and yes, even Tiana from The Princess and the Frog. And even Mulan and Jasmine have had live action remakes already. So, to say that the live action Little Mermaid is the first minority princess that little black girls can look up to is a blatant lie. You are factually wrong again, Dane. Not to mention the fact that it's racist to say that black girls need black characters to look up to. Black girls can look up to white princesses or even other minority princesses. To say that they need black characters to look up to is racist and again, factually wrong.
I'm a little misty-eyed right now. Not gonna lie. Who can look at something like this and I mean, I know there are people that can and will look at this and still be assholes about it. And it's like, I don't know what it's like to be a little black girl.
He is referring to the compilation of black girls reacting to the live-action Little Mermaid trailer, which I have already pointed out that the girls were obviously coaxed by their mothers in the previous video. And the reason why I wasn't misty-eyed when watching it is because, well, I'm a man and I'm not easily emotionally manipulated.
But I understand what it's like to connect with something in a very personal and profound way, to feel like you're represented, you know, like in Iron Man 3, just off the top of my head, when he was having panic attacks, and I used to have severe panic attacks like that. It was like, I fucking couldn't believe I was seeing Robert Downey Jr. as Iron Man having the same thing that I had. Like, it meant a lot to me.
By saying that you related to Iron Man from Iron Man 3 because you had similar panic attacks, you proved yourself wrong. You proved that you don't have to be the same race of a character to relate to them. Young black girls who have panic attacks also can relate to Iron Man. He doesn't need to be the same race or even the same sex to relate to him. A young black girl can relate to white Ariel just the same. Yet again, you are wrong, Dane, and as much as I would love to take credit for it, it wasn't me who proved you wrong. You proved yourself wrong.
Watch it. I might, but like, I've gotten my Little Mermaid, right? So why would I fucking care? In fact, why would I not be happy for these little girls who, and boys too, I imagine, that they get a version that's their version, but also it can be mine if I choose for it to be. The only reason I don't is because I don't care about live action Disney remakes, not because she's black.
And as I said, black girls have their princess as well as several others to choose from. To say that black girls don't have a princess and need one of their own is absurd, as they already have several to choose from. And guess what? Black girls can even choose a white princess to look up to.
It's baffling that you're saying what matters is the skin color. They don't like that. Don't you know that's racist? Like, that's what character is. That's what to be the character. Like, it's not the core. It's not who they are. It's not their values or anything like that. To you, a character is their skin color. Like, that's disgusting. Like, I thought we'd learned. You have to judge a book by its cover. Like, in terms of that's so bizarre to me.
They don't see the irony and the hypocrisy. That's exactly what you guys are saying about Black Panther. You're saying that Black Panther's race is important. Doesn't that make you a racist by your own standard, perp? Listen to that again. They completely contradict themselves. They say that you are a racist if you think that the skin color of a character matters. Then they immediately say that Black Panther's skin color matters.
When you apply it as just a racial thing, yeah, you're being technically racist.
A few moments later.
T'Challa cannot be white. Yes, he has to be a black guy, right? You're saying what matters is the skin color. They don't like that. Don't you know that's racist? To you, a character is their skin color.
A few moments later.
His skin color is integral to the character.
See? Not only have I proven that they don't even pay attention to what they just said, but they are also massive racist hypocrites. Anyway, that's about it for this video. I'm Alpha Eagle. God bless you for watching. God bless America. And I pray that Dane and Perp stop being hypocrites, actually have some consistency in their views, and most importantly, stop being racist to white people.